crack open the Asti.
Eavesdroppin.
Woohoo.
Woo.
Michelle. Hello.
Hey, it's eavesdropping time.
What's the time? It's time to get dropping.
I thought you were...
On some eaves, as you like to say. Not that it makes any sense. Have we ever looked up the, what's the word? The
Etymology?
Etymology. Thank you, Michelle. Straight off the bat. Of the word eavesdropping. Do we know? Or it's not eavesdropping, it's eavesdropping. We just say it
Eavesdropping.
in the Australian language way.
Yes. I don't think I've ever looked it up. No.
We must, don't you think?
We must. We should
We
look
ought.
it up. We ought to do
We
that.
ought to.
Or how
Yes.
about we wait till our favourites, either Charlene Happy Chappy or I'll take it. Why don't you write in? Write in and tell us. I'm sure they already
Yes.
bloody know it, don't they?
They probably do. Listen, I've already said your name. We may as well do the intros.
Yes.
I'm Geordie.
I'm Michelle. You're listening to Eavesdroppin'. It's a comedy podcast.
Lucky you. We laugh. Oh, how we laugh. How we fucking laugh. Oh, when we swear too. Sorry.
Do you know what? Speaking of that, I should give a little shout out.
Oh, I've got a shout out too. Go on, hit me with your shout out.
Well, I've got 3, actually.
Oh.
Shout out to our lovely listeners in Germany. We have 3 of them. The gorgeous Susanna, the beautiful Marnie, and the lovely Libby. All of them
Lovely.
rabid.
Are they?
Rabid eavesdroppers.
Rabid. They don't write in.
No, they listen quietly from the sidelines.
Oh, do they? Well, perhaps we should shame them into writing in. Do you know why? Because we've got a lot of other listeners who do.
Yes.
And they get mentioned. And then I've got people saying, oh, I'm getting sick of hearing about them. Well, write in, for God's sake. Don't get jealous.
And then you might get a mention.
Exactly.
No, it was lovely. I had some nice feedback. They said, keep on eavesdropping, keep
on eavesdropping.
keep on keeping on, basically, is what they said.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm glad. I'd love to hear recommendations from all 3. Now, I know Susanna, in fact, I know all of them very well, but I know Susanna loves a bit of poo talk, and I've got more of that later.
Oh, I love a poo talk.
Apologies to the Americans, and shout out to, on my side of things, I've got a shout out for Australian people. Jen, not your Jen, a different Jen. She's also been quietly listening. Hi, Jen.
Hi, Jen.
And Ren.
Jen and Ren. Oh, fantastic.
They're not together.
No,
they're just near in the same country. Now, feedback from listener Ren from last week's Roald Dahl episode. I've got some.
Oh my God. If it's bad, I'm bracing myself. I'm bracing myself, mate.
Is that what you think when people say feedback? I've got some feedback for you.
Yes, I do, because normally it's constructive criticism and you take it constructively. Yeah. And honestly, I'm happy if I got some facts wrong. It's better to know.
What about when people say things like, Michelle, can we have a word?
That's never positive.
No.
When people say, can I have a word?
No,
and
a word.
Feedback is generally not positive. The word feedback, I think, is used generally to gently point out a flaw or a mistake or something.
You fucked up.
You fucked up.
basically.
Okay. What happened?
Right. Well, listen, here is your feedback from last week's Rolled Out. She said she binged both TV recommendations, or anti-recs actually, from us from last week. Something bad is about to happen on Netflix. Mm-hmm. She watched that with her 12-year-old boy, so maybe it's not as scary as we thought, Michelle. This is the feedback. It wasn't negative. It was just, I watched those.
Oh, but it's about the Rex or the anti-Rex. That's all right. I thought she was going to say...
But it was from our Roald Dahl episode.
Yes, I thought you were going to say she's an avid Roald Dahl fan and she's read every book, and I got something wrong. Like, I called it Charles and the Chocolate Factory or something stupid.
Well, you called it Willy Wonka's Charlie Factory, I think, at one point.
Okay. I got it all mixed up.
But also she said it's not as good as Stranger Things. This something bad is going to happen, but it's worth it. She watched it all the way through with her 12-year-old, and she said it's supernatural, so we should like it. As for his and hers, which we have not continued as yet, but I do plan to, she said it becomes quite implausible in parts. Now, Ren is a script writer, so I trust what she says. And she said the main guy was in The Walking Dead, yet another show she's forced her 12-year-old to watch. Probably not the stuff. It's the stuff of nightmares. I can't bear zombies. I can't watch that. So there you have a little bit of feedback, Michelle. It wasn't as bad as you thought.
No, not at all. But speaking of Rex, have you got any?
No, I've been too busy socialising and going to Jack in the Green celebrations and things like that to watch TV, unfortunately.
Yes, I haven't had a moment really to watch TV, but when I had a moment, well, you and I were watching Inside Number 9.
Oh, it's wonderful, isn't it?
Yes, and I went right back
love
to
it.
the first series. And
Oh, wow, you smashed them.
well, no. I thought I'd start there because, they're half an hour, so you can just get through them. And they're all...
Some are quite dark.
Some of them are very dark. So that's been fun because that actually comes on the back of the whole Roald Dahl.
Yeah.
Alfred Hitchcock.
The closest thing we've got to it.
Presents.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I quite enjoyed just watching a little episode when I came home from work. That was quite good. The other thing I watched the first episode of was The Other Bennett Sister,
Oh, yes.
which is all over the telly right now. BritBox.
BritBox.
Didn't love it.
No, I'm not going to watch it. Doesn't appeal to me.
Not sure I'll continue. It
Right.
depends on how bored I am. But I have got a few things in the pipeline that I would like to watch now that I'm on holiday. So if they're any good, I'll give it a rec.
I did watch a thing last night, just remembered.
Mm-hmm.
We watched the first episode on Apple TV of Widow's Bay, starring that Welsh guy who's in everything right now. He worked a lot when he was younger and didn't work for a while. Well, maybe he was constantly working. How would I know? Don't know his name. Welsh, dark hair, blue eyes. I think he was a detective.
This is as good as your mum's telly rec.
Oh, dear.
I just...
What's the name of the guy in... Hang on.
This is as good as Ave Maria, the blonde guy in Ave Maria.
Matthew Reese. I'll have you know his name is Matthew Reese.
I don't know who that is.
Not Matthew McFadgen. Well, you'll look him up and you'll go, oh, that guy.
Right.
Well, he is the mayor of a town which is an island. It's slightly comedic, slightly got echoes of Jaws from the 70s, and something's up. It's a little bit Wicker Man, possibly.
Oh, okay.
I watched the first episode. I will be watching the second. My husband won't because he just tapped away on his phone throughout. So
Right.
that's that.
That
Yes.
is that. So moving on to other exciting news.
Yeah, you got some exciting news.
No, not really. Eurovision.
Oh, is that happening?
Well, I believe so because guess who?
It's time.
It's happening soon. I don't know when exactly. I haven't looked that up. But I did read something that none other than my favourite pin-up when I was a child is competing this year.
Who's that? Leif Garrett?
No.
Oh, let me guess again. Morton Harkett from Aha.
I did like a little Morton.
I bet you did.
No, it's not. Take on me. It's not that guy. If I give you a little song, let me see. What's one? Come, chameleon.
Oh, Boy George.
Yes.
No.
He's competing.
He's representing the UK. or
Absolutely
Ireland.
not. Neither.
Who?
If I got it right, San Marino.
Right.
So what the fuck?
What?
And I got the shock of my life when I saw him.
Because he's got his teeth done. Looks different.
Nope, not that.
No, Ozempic.
Yep, he's been on the injections.
Oh, no.
Yep, he's skinny as. Skinny.
Skinny ass.
Skinny as.
Skinny ass.
It's got-
Okay.
Yep. So he doesn't even look like him anymore. You know, I kind of enjoyed seeing him when he would paint on the black under his jawline so you couldn't see the 5 chins.
To get rid of the dewlap.
But now he's all like
Yeah.
skinny mini. But I would love to hear how that goes for him. That's one reason to watch.
Yeah. When's it on?
I don't bloody know. Should I look it up?
Janneke from Amsterdam, please write in. She is so into Eurovision and she's gotten me into Eurovision as well. As you know, we do a little watch and live tweet. Not that we're tweeting, we're just WhatsApping, giving points to each one. Then you get really drunk before the end and then you want to go to bed. It's usual fare, you know.
It's the 70th edition of the Eurovision Song Contest.
That's worth a celebration. Crack open the Asti.
Spreomanti. It's scheduled to consist of 2 semi-finals on the 12th and 14th of May and a final on the 16th of May.
That's when this is coming out, the 12th and
fuck?
14th. That kind of time.
Oh, my God.
Whoop-de-doo. Oh, we better do a special.
Yes, we better.
So there you go. Where do you go? There you go. So there you go.
There you go.
Well, speaking of Eurovision and Europeans, and actually not Europeans at all, but Scandinavians, over on Extra Droppings this month, which is on our Patreon page, for our patrons. That's correct, isn't it?
Yes.
Am I getting it right? I suddenly got confused.
No, it will be on.
We have an interview with a Norwegian pop singer. And is it Morten Harket? We'll never tell. You'll need to come over and drop a coin in our slot and find out. Because there's a lot of Norway talk in this month's Extra Droppings. If you're into Norway, if you're into music, if you want to know who our secret guest is, come and find out.
Join up to the Patreon, because if you're not a patron yet, why the bloody hell not, as I always say.
She's so rude. Very in your face, aren't you, Michelle? Listen, speaking of in your face, I've got a little bit more poo talk, as I alluded to earlier.
God, yes.
This is for the Germans, but maybe not for the Americans.
Okay.
Don't think they really enjoy this.
Okay.
Now, you mentioned her earlier, Charlene Happy Chappy. She's written in. Of course she has. Because
we love it.
Oh.
We love it when she writes in.
And does she ever have some info on this subject, the subject of poo?
Scatological talk.
She used to work in McDonald's. Say no more.
At McDonald's?
Yes.
So did I.
Well, McDonald's toilets are notorious for poo accidents or people who are unhoused, as they call them in Australia, I've just learnt, using the toilets there. Sometimes their hygiene isn't too top-notch. I think we talked about it on this podcast when you were on holiday or off sick, when I had Ray on. Listener Ray came on and told us some poo talk on that episode, I believe, to do with McDonald's. If he didn't, then it's just in my memory, because he has told me a couple of poo stories. Not his.
Right.
Other people that he's found.
Okay.
Or who had accidents because he's taken too long in the toilet.
Oh,
I think that's the one.
Okay, tell me.
Anyway.
I'm on the edge of my seat waiting for this poo talk.
I'm not telling you about McDonald's. We had a private chat about that. Thank you, Charlene. I always enjoy our chats. But she did then send me a Facebook post complete with a photo, and the poster of this post saying, "Can the woman who decided to pull her knickers down and poo on the wall at Kirk Burton Doctor's Surgery car park kindly clean your poo up today? We have a photo of you."
No. Oh my God.
Somebody snapped a woman taking a shit on a wall outside the doctor's surgery in a car park.
Oh
Outrageous.
my God.
But not only is that outrageous in itself, this person posted the picture of the poo on the wall on Facebook.
No.
Charlene, God love her, sent it to me.
Oh, thank you, Charlene.
And it is odd. It's hanging off the side. I just don't understand. It's not a good colour. All of the above. Look, people have accidents all the time, and it's just really embarrassing. Why is she going to own up? The fact you've got a photo. I mean, yeah, maybe she should have gone and asked for a doggy bag.
A photo of the poo or the photo of the pooer?
Well, there's a photo of the poo.
Oh my
And there's
God.
a photo of the pooer in the act, I assume.
I've got a couple of things to say about poo right now, as we're on the topic. First of all, I was just in Berlin.
Yeah.
I went out with some friends to like a really nice beer garden in this beautiful park.
Beer garden.
Biergarten. Yeah. Braugarten. No, Braugarten?
No, beer.
Beer.
It's called beer. Yeah.
Brewery. Brewery. Brewery.
Stop.
What the fuck? Anyway, we went to a beer garden. Berlin is all about the vegan food and the vegetarian food. It is like
Hips to
the
heaven.
vegan capital of the world. So wherever you go, I can get something vegetarian.
It's also the kebab capital of the world as well, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I could have just lived on falafel the whole time. It's everywhere. At the beer garden, they also had a vegane Wurst. So I ordered it. Now, I don't know if our listeners know about toilets in Germany, but they kind of have a shelf.
For inspections.
Well, all I'm going to say is that vegan Wurst looked the same going in as it did coming out. When it goes on that shelf, you see it all. So that was my first poo experience.
Did I tell you my husband's making his own sausages at the moment, or did you see them when you were here?
Look, there was some talk about it.
Like old man's hands.
My God. I heard about the sausage making. It had not begun.
Okay. It's been in full force all week.
Oh,
yeah.
shit. You're going to have a lot of snags on the barbie this summer season. The second thing is in relation to this story that Charlene obviously has spoken about. On the way to Berlin, we were driving through Germany. I don't know what I'd eaten, but I just said, Andreas, you've got to stop. You've got to stop. I've got to
Stop
go.
now.
And it's a number 2. You just got to find somewhere for me. And thankfully, normally we were on the Autobahn, but we'd pulled off to go to this golf store because Andreas wanted to look at some golf shoes. Thankfully, there was a shopping mall about just a few minutes away. I honestly thought I wasn't going to make it in, even to the shopping mall. And I was literally looking in the car park thinking, if I have to go, what are the highest cars? Like, are there 2 SUVs or something? I really thought I was going to have to shit in that fucking car park.
And then there'll be a picture of you on Facebook, Michelle.
Yes, going, we saw you. We know who you are. We snapped your license plate.
Oh.
But really, I do feel for this woman, because what if she really just had to fucking go? It came on quick and she was like, that's it. You don't have to like smear it on a wall.
No. Or perch it on a wall.
No.
I think it's a good case for always carrying a little doggy bag with you. You know, one of those doggy poo bags, just in case.
What, shit in a bag?
Yeah, then you can pick it up.
A dog?
Or you can do one in
my
there.
God.
Like, you could have just climbed into the back seat of the car and...
Do you know what? That's
sorted it out.
absolutely true.
Sorry, guys. This is quite something, isn't it, what we're talking about? And I do...
It's quite disgusting.
I do have one final story that's not from personal experience, but one that just popped up, I guess because we were talking about poo on my social media. And it's about a really unlucky tourist in the Northern Territory of Australia who had to be rescued after a long drop toilet collapsed beneath her whilst squatting atop it. She'd been visiting the famous Henbury meteorite craters, which are around 120 kilometres south of Alice Springs, with her partner and her 2 children from where now? Canberra, our hometown, when she popped to the toilet and then completely vanished for 3 hours. So if you've never experienced a long drop, firstly, congratulations. Secondly, they're the kind of toilets that you tend to find in remote bush areas or in an orchard that my husband has. Yes. He's built one.
Yes.
Now I'm too frightened to use it after reading this. Basically a toilet that's popped on top of a really deep pit, and then people poo in it, and then you move to another site. There's no plumbing, no flushing, just vibes and gravity, you know, just kind of bringing it out, plopping it down. It's great. They're great. They're not dirty. But if you land inside of one, then it's probably quite dirty, as this woman found out.
Oh, well, you'd be literally covered in shit.
Well, this one just collapsed into the sewage pit below, and the poor woman went with it. And a witness told local media that the tourist was standing waist deep in shit, nappies, piss, etc., all in that hole. And to make matters worse, the family had no phone reception because, again, outback Australia. So the woman's partner reportedly had to drive up the highway trying to find a signal to get help. Eventually, they found a tradesman who happened to pass by. He lowered a tow rope into the pit so the woman could stand on it, then used his vehicle to pull her out slowly. And this rescue apparently took 45 minutes.
It sounds like quicksand.
But she's up to her waist in shit.
Yes. Maybe there was a suction holding her in. I mean, you can't really get out of a long
You can't
drop.
climb out.
No.
Because it's a long drop. She couldn't climb out if she
out.
wanted to. Fucking hell.
God.
She escaped with only minor injuries, cuts and bruises, although she was understandably shaken and taken to hospital in Alice Springs. And that is not even, shockingly, not the first long drop toilet disaster in Australia. There was another one in regional Victoria where firefighters had to rescue a man who became trapped inside another long drop toilet during the night.
No.
Toilet
During the
trouble.
night.
Toilet danger. Danger.
What a shitty experience. Literally. Oh my God. Well, that is the stuff of nightmares. I need to be careful. In Italy, a squat toilet is very common, but you're never going to.
But they're not into a hole in the ground.
Well, they are in a hole in the ground, but not a long drop.
No.
Sometimes they're porcelain, that you've got these weird porcelain things you stand on and then squat down and shit into a hole.
I know them. I quite like them. It seems like a natural way to sit.
You bloody hippie. Yes. It is.
Are you ready to hear my story this week, Michelle?
What do you got? Is it a little bit of poo talk?
No poo talk, zero poo talk. I'm done with that. I have flushed. That's gone away.
Okay.
Speaking of Ren, who wrote in earlier to talk about the TV recommendations, she sent me this story because she watches a lot of fab kind of documentaries and things, and she found out about this story. The Red Virgin. Not the Red Version. The Red Virgin.
The Red Virgin.
Now, hang on to your hats. Here we go. Most parents want their child to do well in life and will joyfully sign them up for all the ballet classes, the football, the Kumon or Come On or whatever it's called. There's this kind of thing that people sign up to for extra tuition and learning. It's called Come On, Kumon. Come on.
Fuck.
People call it Kumon.
Okay, all right.
I don't know. It's like a homework club.
Okay.
Anyway, all the enrichment classes and all the after-school clubs and all that, everything that you can do in your postcode, like paddle. I know some kids who do pole dancing.
What? Oh my God, teach your child to be a stripper.
It's madness.
What the hell?
Yeah. Why not?
Okay.
Irish dancing is very popular around these parts as well. I always fancied sending my children to fencing, but they only managed a little bit of yoga, a touch of forest school, and a tiny bit of drama because they hate leaving the house ever. So what does that say about me as a parent? I don't know.
It means you've got homebodies, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I guess. Either way, you do hope that all children will do well and that you can maybe live vicariously through them just a bit, and they will potentially grow up to earn more than you and travel further and be happier and all that blah, blah, blah. That's pretty standard for most parents, whether they acknowledge it or not. But what if your child wasn't just encouraged, but engineered, designed even?
What do you mean? What the hell?
Deep breath, and apologies to the Spanish community while I butcher these names. But this is the story of Hildegart Leocadia Georgina Hermenegilda Maria de Palau Rodríguez Carballeira, who was a teenage genius. We can just call her Hildegart from now on.
Okay.
She's a teenage genius, a feminine firebrand, and a political thinker. And her life was meticulously constructed by her mother, who then abruptly, brutally ended it as well.
Oh my God. Okay.
Sorry.
What the? This is. Just,
Is it too much? Shall I change the subject?
I don't think so. I'm curious.
Essentially, this was a perfect child experiment. Hildegard was born on December the 9th, 1914 in Madrid, pre-World War I. Her mother, Aurora Rodríguez Carballeira, wasn't your average parent. She was fiercely intelligent, deeply ideological, and absolutely convinced that society could be improved through careful human design, aka eugenics, which is the idea that the human population can be improved through controlled breeding, which you're nodding your head. It seems that you've heard of it.
Of course.
It was a big thing.
This was the basis of
Yes.
Hitler.
Yeah. You're right.
Yep.
Basically, this controlled breeding, eugenics, was encouraging some people to reproduce so-called desirable traits and discouraging or preventing others from breeding with negative traits. Who gets to be the boss of this? I have no clue. Like you said, it was a very popular idea with Hitler. In the late 19th century, a cousin of Charles Darwin called Francis Galton took Darwin's ideas about natural selection and applied them to humans in a really literal way. Galton believed traits like intelligence, morality, and even poverty were inherited. So by the early 20th century, eugenics had spread across Europe and North America. And then you had things like forced sterilization laws, which were introduced. Some people who were seen as feeble-minded or disabled, mentally ill, or just poor were all targeted. And immigration policies were shaped by eugenic thinking. It's so frightening, Michelle, and I worry that this might be kind of creeping back in a little bit. I don't know.
It's kind of disgusting. It's making me feel
I know.
sick.
It's terrible because at the time, eugenics was often presented as forward thinking, and rather than what we know now, you know, we'd recognize it as deeply discriminatory now, but in the past, they loved this idea. They thought, this is amazing. We can take control. A little bit like, you know, other engineering thoughts and ideas such as IVF and other things like that. You know, these are groundbreaking scientific breakthroughs. Do we find out later on that it was all a really bad idea? Don't mess with nature? Well, listen on and find out, guys.
It seems inherently flawed if you're,
for sure.
depending on how you're doing this. I mean, yes, you can put two smart people together, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have a smart kid. You might have a kid that's thick as shit because who knows how these...
But chances are they will be
Chances
smart.
are, yes.
Chances are, and they will be raised by two smart people.
Yes.
So there'll be modelling and there'll be genetics at play there as well. But let me just finish up about eugenics before I get into the story. Obviously, as you mentioned, eugenics reached its peak under Adolf Hitler and the Nazi regime, which cited this ideology to justify the systematic murder of 6 million Jews and the killing of disabled people and the persecution of the Roma, the LGBTQ plus individuals and other people who just seemed undesirable. And the scale and brutality of the Nazi policies, as we all know, exposed the true dangers of eugenic thinking to the world. And after World War II, eugenics as a movement kind of lost credibility overnight. Yeah. Thank God. Unfortunately, it did its worst, though, beforehand. But that's a way off for the people in this story. So, Mother Aurora came from Ferrol in Galicia and had already experimented with raising her nephew into a musical prodigy. And she succeeded. This gave her a bit of a power surge, and she decided, you know, let's go one step further. She decided she wanted to create the perfect woman. So Aurora deliberately chose a man to father a child based on what she believed were ideal traits like his intelligence, his social standing, his genetic superiority. She only met him once, so she must have really had a beady eye on her cycle. Plus, I believe that she kind of had some ideas on how to make sure that she got pregnant at a certain time of her cycle in which that would definitely be a girl, and it would definitely, you know, all of these things, diet, all these other things came into play. She's never revealed his identity. But yeah, like I said, the positions that she would have had sex in.
Oh my God.
All of those things would have been put into practice in this moment, and it worked, and she had a baby girl.
You think about the timing of that. 1914, did you say?
Yep, yeah.
So she couldn't have looked this shit up on the internet. Like, what's the best position for a girl? Like, this must have been a lot of
old wives' tales.
Wives' tales.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Witchery, all of the above. But despite being an atheist, Aurora had Hildegart baptized in 1915, which was less about faith and more about how it would look amongst the deeply Catholic community in Spain. And from the very beginning, Hildegart wasn't treated like a child. She was a project.
Oh, okay. So again, this is making me sick, but yeah.
To be fair, though, to Aurora, the experiment on the outside looked like it worked. Hildegart could read by the age of 2. This is while the rest of us are chewing on crayons. By 4, she's typing. By 10, she's fluent in German, French, and English, as well as Spanish, obviously. By 11, she's speaking at feminist conferences. She's 11 years old.
What?
She's not just a precocious child. This was the product of relentless conditioning. Mother Aurora controlled every aspect of her daughter's life. What she read, who she spoke to, how she spent her time. Friendships were discouraged. Absolutely no boyfriends allowed because distraction is the enemy of greatness, apparently. If you really consider it, it's abuse, right? Because she's
of course it is.
Basically taken that child's autonomy. No room for spontaneity or even just being a kid. It's sad.
Well, she's appropriated this life that's not hers.
Yeah. Appropriated being the perfect word for it. By 13, Hildegart enrolled in the University of Madrid to study law. By 17, she had a degree and was teaching at the University School of Philosophy.
What the fuck? Wow.
She wasn't just academically brilliant, she was politically engaged and articulate. So she joined the Spanish Socialist Workers' Party, although that relationship didn't really last because she was expelled because she published an article criticizing something or other in La Libertad paper, I guess. Mm-hmm. She disagreed with a candidate the party supported, so she was out. But the fact that she did that is quite exciting. Because even as a teenager, having been modelled to do exactly as mother said, she wasn't one to toe the party line. And it looked like she was developing a mind of her own. However, her main focus and passion was feminism and sexual reform. This young girl.
Right.
She'd never even had sex, of course. Well, I hope not at that point.
Where's the mother at this point? Because is she still controlling?
Side by side.
Oh,
absolutely.
God.
She's all over this shit.
Okay.
Hildegart believed that women's liberation hinged on control over their own bodies. I suppose modelled by her own mother in that sense, if you think about it. So she's talking about contraception, sexual autonomy in a time when those things weren't really everyday, reproductive choice. Obviously, 30s Spain, these were radical ideas.
Yep.
And if you think about it, also scandalous. Scandaloso.
I'm getting bad vibes here. Like this is going to end really badly.
Yeah, it's disconcerting and it's uncomfortable. Eavesdroppin'. But despite being the product of eugenics, she was also a massive fan of it. And as I mentioned earlier, many progressive thinkers of that era were all on board with these crazy ideas that we now find so damn distasteful.
Well, she was probably on board with it because she'd been so conditioned to believe that it was a good thing.
Well, she had, but also it was the fashion. People were talking about eugenics. It's great. A bit like people are talking about Ozempic and Manjaro right now. I mean, it's great.
Well, I did read something recently where it's apparently doing something bad to bones, they're finding now. I don't know.
Well, listen, back to Hildegart and away from the Ozempic. Put that syringe down, everybody. By the time she was 16, Hildegart had already published multiple books and pamphlets, and her work was circulated widely. She became a bit of a media sensation, and newspapers were reporting that her lectures often ended in standing ovations that lasted more than 5 minutes.
Oh, my God.
They bloody loved this little girl. They loved what she was saying. And in a way, it's great because she was pushing the sexual reform. But what about the eugenics? Not so good.
Yeah.
But also, can you imagine being that composed and that engaging at an age when most of us can barely present a PowerPoint without sweating through our tops?
Do you know what? She'd been reading since she was 2. So she wasn't really 17 or whatever. She was more like a 30-year-old at this point because she was so far advanced.
Yeah. And actually, just you saying that has made me think, well, if it wasn't for TV and all the other devices, I wonder if we would be smarter as a human race. Just because of nothing else to do, you know, apart from learn a language, read a book, get politicized.
Yeah, but then you think about things like Jane Austen's characters in her novels. They had no TV. They weren't getting politicized. They just wanted a husband.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure that everybody is going to be a bookworm.
I mean, I wonder if also Aurora could have just had a child, however which way, and just let that child grow around her. Much like what you said before, 2 smart people won't guarantee a smart kid. Well, it probably would if you were both actively smart. You don't have to be as actively smart as she was, which was like, you must be a prodigy. You must be a prodigy. Slap, slap, slap. You know, God knows what her methods were. I don't have that information.
It's not guaranteed. 2 smart parents, it's not guaranteed you're going to have a smart kid. So basically, I had this friend in college and 2 super smart parents had really high-flying jobs. He was super smart. The brother, thick. So it doesn't... It doesn't necessarily add up that 2 smart parents will have a smart kid. It's not guaranteed.
Right. Okay. Well, that's anecdotal evidence from Michelle. Thank you for putting that in to the mix. Fantastic.
Into the slot.
But, I mean, I guess that's correct. I mean, I don't know. We'd have to, you know, read a lot more anecdotal evidence-based things about that and maybe look into, I'm sure there's experiments done where you separate twins and whatnot. Yeah, okay, this is one way of really doing an experiment, but at the cost of what? Well, listen on, people, and find out. Extra, extra, read all about
Give me the scoop.
Eavesdropping wins, and there's no doubt about it.
Eavesdropping.
We're going to flip forward to 1931 now. We've got Hildegard corresponding with some of the biggest intellectual names in Europe and North America. One of them was Margaret Sanger. Sanger or Sanger? Sanger.
I wish it was Sanger.
I want it to be Sanger. She's the founder. I'd never heard of her before, but since doing the research for this, I'm seeing her name everywhere. She was the founder of Planned Parenthood.
Oh.
And Sanger, or Sanger, was reportedly amazed by Hildegard's intellect. And guess what? Hildegard was equally as excited. She was fangirling over Sanger in a big way. She even had a poster of her on her wall.
She was a bit in love.
Massive into her.
She was girl crush on this one.
Well, because of the Planned Parenthood thing, and it was speaking the same language as Hildegard. She also wrote to Havelock Ellis, who was a British social reformer and psychoanalytic thinker. Ellis was so taken with her that he nicknamed her the Red Virgin, which was a nod to her socialist and feminist ideals. And obviously, being so young, like I said before, we would hope she was a virgin.
I kind of don't love that name.
The Red Virgin.
Yeah, I don't.
It's quite visceral, isn't it?
Yeah, and also it feels like a put down, you know, to kind of label somebody because of their sexual
status.
Yes, because if she had been sexually active, what would she
they
then
have
be
called
called?
her then?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if she'd been promiscuous, would they have called her the red slut?
Oh, God.
Do you know what I mean? I just don't like that they've honed in on her sexual lack of sexual experience is something to call her. I don't love that.
No.
But, okay.
Fair enough, but these were different times.
Different times.
It was 1933, in fact. And at this point, Havelock Ellis, published an article about her, highlighting not just her brilliance, but also Aurora's, let's call it, methodology.
How did he even know about it?
Because it was known. It was known, and people met her and they saw.
Was Aurora talking about, this is my eugenics project, about her child?
I would say so. I mean, she's all up in the free thinkers and people of the time. And also, Havelock Ellis noted that Aurora often reminded Hildegard of her mission, in inverted commas, reportedly telling her that love is only passing. What does that mean? And who says that to your teenage daughter?
Oh, somebody who doesn't want to let the reins go of their kid. That's what it is.
Yeah.
'Cause,
But what about her love? Love is only passing. What about love, the mother's love? This is what I'm talking about.
Right.
You know? That reminds me of that fabulous film, which I don't think you liked very much, Everything Everywhere All at Once. That to me is the most beautiful portrait of a mother and a daughter and the love. The opposite of this, that is unconditional love. And there's nothing that the daughter can do that the mother will ever not love her for.
Interesting. Yeah, I couldn't get through that movie. I thought it was bored
amazing.
of it.
I sobbed all the way
God.
through.
No, I kind of was annoyed with it and went, I can't watch this. So I only got halfway through. Maybe it got better.
Okay, that's Michelle, once again, film critic. She's got her sunglasses on now at this point as well, so she really looks like she knows what she's talking about. She looks like she's on the banks of a Cannes river, ready to jump on a speedboat and arrive at the Croisette. Hildegart, back to her, because that's who we're talking about right now. Hildegart also struck up a connection with H.G. Wells, who, as you know, Michelle, he was the author of The War of the Worlds. She even offered to work as his secretary, which he declined. But now I looked into that. I don't know why she declined. And some sources say that Wells was concerned for Hildegart at age 18, her well-being, seeing that she was under extreme mental strain due to her mother's controlling obsessive behavior. So he offered her the job as a way out.
Right.
But what's also interesting to note is that this is the guy that wrote The Island of Dr. Moreau, which is a story about a shipwrecked man. Have you seen the film?
No, I haven't.
Shipwrecked man who was stranded on a remote... I don't remember the film, to be honest. I think it was... What's his name? Marlon Brando. I'm not 100% sure. Island of Dr. Moreau. Shipwrecked man arrives on an island, stranded in the Pacific, and finds this weird scientist there called Dr. Moreau. And throughout the film, it's revealed that he is carrying out cruel experiments on animals by surgically transforming them into human-like creatures and calls them beast folk. And Moreau then forces these creatures to live with strict rules known as the law, designed to suppress their animal instincts and to make them behave more like humans. So it's exploring themes of scientific ethics and cruelty, hello eugenics, evolution and degeneration, hello eugenics, and the dangers of unchecked experimentation. Good morning, Aurora.
Right.
Isn't that funny? I think he wrote this book before this incident.
Okay, but maybe he was already kind of all up in eugenics and thought, how can I write a book about eugenics without it being about eugenics?
Because it's the stuff on everyone's lips at that time. Back to Hildegard. Now, she hasn't finished with studying. No. She's done her law degree. She's 16, 17. She's finished with that, but she's not content with that. So she went on to study medicine and claimed to have established Spain's first birth control clinic in Valencia, with plans for another one in Malaga.
Amazing.
And she founded the Spanish branch of the World League for Sexual Reform. And if that wasn't enough, she also organized a major conference in Madrid, inviting Sanger and Ellis to attend. At this point, let's pause and remember, she's still a teenager.
Who's never had sex.
I'm looking at two teenagers' bedrooms right now thinking, can you just get off your bum and maybe clean your room? I'd be applauding that, let alone host a...
I mean, this girl, she's got a law degree and she's studying medicine. She's just opened a clinic and she's basically changing the world for women's sexual rights.
Paving that way. I know, it's amazing, isn't it? So Havelock Ellis, for his part, much like H.G. Wells, he began to worry about her well-being as well. And in letters, he expressed concern that she was taking on too much and suggested that Sanger help manage some of the workload. And that was the last time that either of them would communicate with her, because on the night of June the 9th, 1933, Hildegard's mother, Aurora, crept into her daughter's room, and also her experiment, if you would like to call her that. She's not only her daughter, but her experiment. And she shot Hildegard multiple times.
What the
She
fuck?
was 18 years old. Yeah, she killed her.
What the hell? Why?
No one really knows why to this day.
Holy shit.
Yeah. There is a theory that Hildegard had fallen in love with a politician from Barcelona and was planning to elope. And given Aurora's strict prohibition on relationships, this would have represented not just rebellion to her, but also the collapse of the entire experiment.
Yes.
So maybe that was a reason. Another theory claims that Hildegard intended to travel abroad, possibly to the UK to meet Havelock Ellis, or to take up that offer from H.G. Wells. Without her mother's permission, she found out, bam, bam, killed her.
Jesus.
We don't know. Because the most chilling explanation is one from Aurora's lips herself, which was offered up during her trial. She said, "The sculptor, after discovering a minimal imperfection in his work, destroys it."
Still chasing payments with paper invoices? There's a better way. With Invoice Simple, you can put your phone to work. Download the app and put professional invoicing in the palm of your hand so you can run your business anywhere. Invoice Simple lets you create estimates in seconds on the job site. Send and manage invoices from your favorite lunch spot. Or collect payments in person or online, 24/7, all from your phone. Download Invoice Simple today. Try it free.
Okay.
Not a daughter, a work. It's hard not to feel a bit sick hearing that.
Yep. So she's the sculptor. She modelled the clay. There's something wrong with that sculpture. Yes, smash it down. Done.
She's not a human.
No.
She's not a person.
No.
This is classic, parents having babies to fulfill themselves in some way, not just to reproduce and to welcome another generation onto the planet.
Oh, my God.
To help look after it.
Okay. So did she go to prison?
Yes, she did. She was arrested and tried almost immediately. And during proceedings, she made increasingly bizarre claims, including that Ellis and Wells were attempting to recruit Hildegard into an international espionage network.
What?
But this went nowhere. And then in May 1934, she was finally sentenced to 26 years in prison. And during the trial, people kind of made note of how eerily composed she appeared throughout it. She showed barely any emotion, Michelle, apart from at one point, apparently she would sniff a pot of carnations.
What?
I don't know why. Red carnations.
hell.
Yeah, I don't know. Were they there already? Did she bring them in? I don't know. I'm just thinking, is it odd? Is it part of another experiment? I don't know. Is she unwell
Or is she
mentally?
kind of a sociopath or has sociopathic tendencies?
Well, eventually she was transferred to a psychiatric institution.
Right.
And diagnosed with schizophrenia.
Oh, okay.
And she spent the rest of her life in there, constantly asking for a pardon, but that never came. And eventually, Aurora died of cancer in 1955. And this was during the dictatorship of Francisco Franco. So she was just buried in a mass grave, an unceremonious end.
Wow. Well, she was considered a criminal. So it's
criminal,
like,
yeah.
boom, don't waste any money on the state's money on that.
Absolutely.
Holy shit.
But as for Hildegard, she's remembered for her brief 18 years that she lived, for achieving many that most wouldn't in a whole lifetime. She wrote extensively, she spoke publicly, she engaged with leading thinkers. She pushed forward ideas that, while controversial, were decades ahead of her time. And also, her life raises uncomfortable questions, such as how much of her brilliance was truly hers.
Yeah, of course. I mean, she was a product of Aurora's control.
And her intelligence as well. So she taught her everything relentlessly.
And, she shaped this girl. So how much of this is original thought and how much of it is programming and conditioning? I mean, I don't have the answers. Just thinking aloud.
Thinking aloud. And also, is this what happens when a parent's ambition overrides a child's autonomy?
Well, when you have it as a goal, yeah.
So just think about that, guys. Also, where's the line between nurturing potential and controlling it?
Well, we all laugh about kind of stage moms and, people who are pushy moms and that kind of thing. And are they living out their own fantasies through their children? Their lives failed, but they've got another shot. They can do it. They've got a chance with their kid.
Exactly.
Dance moms. Love it. My God.
That is basically, I have written into this story that Aurora may have been the OG momager.
Yes.
Really?
100%. Yeah, for sure. Except to an extreme.
To the extreme, of course. Hildegard's story, however, isn't just about a prodigy. It's about identity, ownership, and the cost of living someone else's vision as your own life.
Yes, but if you don't know anything else, poor Hildegard, she didn't know anything else.
Well, I believe that she was starting to get an idea of what the life she wanted to live, and possibly that's why her mother ended it.
Yes.
So she wasn't allowed to become the person that she might have been, only who she was designed to be. The minute she stepped out of line, that was the end of the experiment. You have done your job. You have served your purpose. It's horrible when you think about it, isn't it?
Oh, God, it's absolutely terrifying.
Now, I'm sure that most parents out here, nowadays aren't conducting full-blown experiments on their kids, but the pressure to mold or to optimize their intelligence, to perfect our children, it still exists to a degree, I believe. It just happens that
Of course it does.
Hildegard was...
Flashcards.
More than flashcards. Tutoring, hothousing, all of the above.
All of that stuff.
Relentless clubs.
Yeah, I'm not against tutoring. I think that if you're weak in a subject and you just need a little bit of help, okay. But tutoring every subject just to be ahead of everyone else, is that giving a kid a childhood, or is it just making them a brain machine? Like, I don't know. As a non-mother, I don't really know. And I've never been faced with finding the line between wanting the best for your kids, like their future, their academic success, and wanting the best for your kids just to let them be kids. Like, I've never had to find that line.
Well, Hildegard, bless her, R.I.P., she just happens to be the most extreme of this kind of experimentation, this moulding. And it's obviously very tragic as well, of where that kind of controlling mindset can lead.
Yeah.
And there's a film.
Do you think it could happen again?
Yes, I do. Not so much eugenics, because
Yeah.
that's kind of no longer existing, hopefully. It's not really a thing that people want to push. I hope. I mean, maybe somebody thinks it is a good idea and it becomes back in vogue. I don't know. I hope not. I really hope not. I think it's awful. But there is, if you'd like to find out more about this Red Virgin story, there is a film, a Spanish film called The Red Virgin, and lots more podcasts as well, I would say.
Wow, Geordie, that is really quite something. And the fact that this was more than 100 years ago. When she was born, and this was happening then, and it's something that could easily be going on now. I mean, I'm sure versions of this. There was actually a film, I wish I could remember the title of it, but it was where basically this family just decided to live off grid and mold these kids to what they believed society should be. And you see it in religious groups that actually, withdraw and mold the children of the religious sects in that various thing. It's all kind of not eugenics, but it's molding to various degrees. I mean, it happens even in schools.
Yeah, molding.
Molding.
Like bashing those square pegs into those round holes. You must conform.
You must be right-handed. All of that stuff.
Yes.
Really a lot of food for thought there.
I know. What a thoughtful bit of food.
My God.
What a thoughtful morsel.
I know. Well, thanks, Ren, for the heads up on that story, and thanks, Geordie, for the deep dive. I've never heard of it, and super interesting.
I'd call it more of a shallow dive, but I'll take it. I'll take the thank you. I'll take the praise. I hope you all enjoyed it.
Yes.
Now, this will bring us to the end of the episode, where we have nothing more to say on the subject.
No.
Except for
3 little things.
wherever you are.
Whatever you do,
Just keep
eavesdropping.
Eavesdropping. Eavesdropping. Dropping. Eavesdropping. Dropping. Eavesdropping. Eavesdropping.
Dropping.
Eavesdropping.